Hello, we're live. Welcome back. It's
Oh.
Beasts in the Timetwist. That's the name.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. Who would like to recap?
It's been some time since I have, so I guess I'll peruse the notes that Doc had graciously left for us. We arrived at the meeting place, which I'm learning right now is one word, apparently, with Darnell.
I swear it is one word. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
by the way.
Google Docs disagrees. Samaka was barely conscious and unable to process the events to relinquish her powers. Yeah, she was just kind of just out of it in a, not quite a catatonic state, but pretty damn close. Darnell was kind of taunting us about being unable to deliver on our promise, which led to an outburst from Alex, and then that initiated combat. These three different machines had word to life, each one of them giving Darnell and his cronies some type of special abilities. We had to systematically destroy them to to weaken their abilities, so that way we can fight on a more even playing field. And we got their numbers kind of down right now, and Darnell was getting pretty close to getting fried until Falzone decided to come in and take the bullet for him. And then eventually another Falzone arrived. Oh yeah, Huston also was here. He came to
Also,
join the
Huston
fight.
is here.
Hey.
He showed up.
And you also gave a potion to Samaka, and she is currently a
She's a
small-looking Demi-Dragon-looking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, Doc included that in the notes. I was just kind of I stopped reading it verbatim.
Fair. The rat caster is down. One of the draft fighters on the far right is prone, injured. Darnell looks like he was going to be fatally injured, but Fazan took it. And the other draft fighter is down. You've got them all surrounded. Lucky's off to the northwest. There's sounds of a scuffle, but nothing too crazy. Sounds about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Falzone 2's turn. Appropriate name or not? We shall see. A light's on the ground, moving just like the other Falzone that has been kind of acting as Dornall's shield. Studies the first Falzone, tilts his head. He does look a bit surprised. That's quite a nice imposter you've cooked up. Let's dance. Draws two blades, flourishes them, spins them. But as he starts doing that, Falzone takes Lucky takes his turn out of sight. Samaka steps forward. I'm not going to roll for this, but now getting more of her senses of feel for this body, it seems, just clawing, ravaging, trying to pin down Dornall underneath her talon, which is as big as his chest, and succeeds.
So what is Falzone 2 actually doing? So I don't think he had his turn, so he just kind of skimmed over it.
He stays over here, fighting Falzone 1 and Dornall. But the reason I'm glossing over it is because Draft 2 is getting up, and then Dornall, as a free action, shouts, with his voice a bit choked and muffled by the assault that Falzone 1 can't quite defend against. Don't stop! They've made their case! Let them free! Stop fighting them! And his cronies do.
Crim is panting as he had climbed up. It's not his turn yet, but he's looking around to see if there isn't any turns anymore.
Cashmere will hop off of Crim. He seems a lot more rejuvenated now after being sent straight to the ground earlier. And he finds himself face to face with two Falzones. He looks surprised, but also frustrated and angry.
They're looking at you as well, and they both simultaneously do like a little side smirk in greeting before being on guard, but they've stopped their attacks as well.
I think I'd be shit, man.
Turner just kind of looks to them, looks to the foul zones, and says, "You know, you two arrived at a little bit of an anticlimactic time. If you'd showed up just a minute earlier, we could have seen you two duke it out. Trying to convince which one is the real one."
We could still.
There's still time, says one, and the other says, "I've always dreamed of fighting myself." The first one says, "Funny. I was about to say the same thing."
Put beside yourself, aren't you?
Suddenly, Crim said, "Are we out of initiative?"
Maybe loosely?
I think so.
Okay. Suddenly, Crim like gasps. He's like, "Oh!" And he circles around, running past a few people. Hi. Hi. You're very pretty.
You broke, Doc.
Get resolved. She says, "Thank you," and then like her voice box collapses and her wings start shrinking, and her time is up.
Yeah, Crim, you only had a minute.
Crim-
You're making move faster.
Crim looks devastated for like 5 seconds before he comes to his senses and just tries to compose himself and pretend nobody saw that.
Turner will just will kind of look to Darnall and I guess Foul Zone 1 and then just say, if you try anything, you are one explosion away, and Foul Zone won't be able to save you this time.
Beat me to it.
Yes, everyone, stand down. I don't know what's happening over there, but no more bloodshed. They've beaten us at our game on this neutral ground. So yes, we're within your power.
How does Sonica look right now, by the way?
Oh yeah, now that she's back to normal body.
It looks like that dose of dragon juice really pepped her up. She's not like normal, like alert like you guys are. She's got like halfway between semi-catatonic and fighting shape.
She looks a little better. Maybe we should do this before she gets too tired again.
Oh, okay. Hold on. He holds up his hand, and then points at like between the two Falzones. Tell me something that I've told you about myself. If you know it, you're the real one. Tell this is one of his secrets.
They think. This is like the one session I didn't open up this document ahead of time.
You ever played Detroit Becomes Human? There's a great moment like this.
Oh, I was actually just thinking that.
Huh. I did that too.
Is this the first one starts and looks at the other one who was like being interrupted and just says, "Go on, you handsome devil." And the first Falzone says, "Is this about your trouble in certain social interactions? Is this your life's and hopes and dreams, Cashmere? You know I know all your secrets."
You can get more specific than that. I think, I've reached a point where I stopped caring. And he nods at the other Falzone.
Okay. Do you think this would be the thing about compliments?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay. He would say, well, let me demonstrate. Cashmere, you are just so skilled and handsome. Why can't everyone see it?
Mm-hmm.
What's Cashmere's reaction?
He tries not to smile, but he ends up doing it anyways.
I imagine his ear twitches or something like that.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. Well, it's that Cashmere can't take a compliment. He's just too cute.
Unfortunately, this is the real one. And he whips out his spear and points it at the other one. Drop the act.
Which one has the spear pointed at it?
The injured one. So, Falson
One's
1.
bloodied.
That one says, "Oh, but hold on. And first of all, like, peers around you, checking on Samaka, and then I know your secrets too, of course, because I'm Falson and this is the imposter. I know you've wanted to become a famous artist, idly here and there. You dropped painting, even though I tried to encourage it in our romantic nights. How's that?"
Cashmere pauses.
Tywek hands blurry.
Alex snaps his fingers and reconjures his flame blade. Okay,
No.
what are you?
Samaka croaks out. They're both real. They're both Falson.
I suppose it's less a doppelganger, or a twin.
Oh, there's the time thing.
So which
What?
one belongs in this reality timeline? How'd you do this?
Well, when I read stories like this, it always throws me off.
She looks a bit sorrowful and uncertain. Glances at Falson 2, or no, Falson 1, who had been defending Dornall, and he just unravels into golden threads of light and is gone.
The injured one or the non-injured? Sorry.
The injured one.
Alright. Oh, that was
Cashmere.
alive.
Cashmere lets out a sigh and lets his spear go down to the ground, or point down to the ground. Well, at least I was right. Kind of.
What happened?
Were you concentrating on him?
She shakes her head slowly. Falson would say, "That was strange, but that can wait." And he gestures his chin at Dornall, who's still, like, on the ground, cowering, and then looks at you, Cashmere. Samaka's finally safe, and Dornall is on his knees, figuratively, for the first time in decades. He's shown you how rotten he is. This was supposed to be a neutral exchange. She could have died if you didn't give her that potent brew. You can get rid of the drafts, all of you.
Will we make it out of the room? And Wade gestures to like all the minions surrounding them, like presumably like on the floor, in another room, etc.
Looks a little uncertain at that. Can make an escape, I'm sure.
Now wait. Hold on. And Cashmere will walk over to Dornall, point his spear down at him. You want to explain what you were trying to do here? Because you must have had a plan. I don't know what you were planning, but you better talk fast.
Well, I was rather hopeful that this... Sorry, I'm sounding like Falzone. Well, I was rather hopeful that this weapon could be disarmed, as I was led to believe could happen here. I felt a little uncertain in the proceedings of the deal when... Oh, turns out something isn't wrong. We can't do it right now because she's so tired. Looks hesitantly at you, Alex, as if you're going to have an outburst again. So we had
Let's
some
just-
backup plans.
As we can see, Mr. Dornell, you have not protected your leverage in this endeavor, you have become it.
And you've been using the weapon, Samaka, too. Or am I wrong?
I have no idea what's... I didn't know there was... I'm as confused as you are. Samaka
Right.
nods as if that makes sense to her.
And let me guess. It was Nelfin. She orchestrated all this.
Nothing? She's just my lovely daughter. I mean, I consult her and assign her tasks, but she has nothing to do with this. And Samaka interrupts. No. When he came to visit, I did this thing. I don't think anyone knew what happened except for me. Not even the fake Falzone. He thought he was real. It's my fault, but I was in a bind.
So, why was it in your interest to sabotage the play then? To make this Falzone who would want to?
Sabotage the play?
What? You made
That's
this
why it was so strange, isn't it?
Oh, well, we fixed most of it, or tried to.
But as far as we can tell, you made a Falzone with it. The one is to make a deal to free you, and as such work with the drafts in the process.
There are layers to this onion. Any of you hungry? Forgive me. I do not understand. I will have a task force on it to make things make sense to me and everyone. For now, I don't know. You should go ask your shady forces you work for, and hopefully Samaka can explain now that she's feeling better.
About that, before we do any of this further talking, do you mind if we have a chat with Samaka to disarm this power and stuff now, please, before it gets out of hand?
I don't think it matters if he minds.
Oh yeah, I guess that's also true.
Yeah.
So we came here for one reason, to get you out of here, Samaka, weapon or no weapon. If you do that right now, we press a sword to Dornell's back, walk out of the city, and never turn and never lead back. Never head back. It's that simple. That's all we need.
Oh, do we
Looks like
also...
a lot of people... Huh?
Well, I don't think we want our faces plastered over many wanted posters.
Cashmere's gonna look up from Dornell at Falzone. He's gonna study him for a second. He has like a stern expression at first, and then it softens gradually. I'm not killing anybody. None of us are.
Nervously glances at Wade, thinking about yesterday.
Samaka shifts uncomfortably, looks like she's ready to... She kind of gets to her feet, wobbles a bit, but seems like she's willing to follow you or talk or whatever you would ask of her. Dornell's still lying on the ground. Falzone's got like his dagger above him so he can't stand up. And he glares back at you, Cashmere, saying, I don't see why not. They've double-crossed you. They won't change their ways. The best change you can make is to kill. Cut out the rot, Cashmere. It has to be one of you, or the cycle will continue. You can leave and not look back, as your friend said.
Right, and create a convenient power vacuum for you to fill.
I think you're seeing the wrong cycle here.
Sensing a bit of... briefly while this is happening. Sensing a brief of hostility, Crim will, quietly go to Samaka and gesture for her to follow. He'll be walking toward Turner.
Okay, she does.
Listen, Falzone. If you kill Dornell here, somebody else is going to get killed. A lot of people are going to get killed, including you. And I don't know. I've been through a lot. I just don't want that to happen. I don't want any of this to happen. If we can take this power from here and do something else with it, we can leave this all behind. It'll be better than if you kill him. Okay?
I might not be able to leave it all behind, but you lot can. And yes, it will make a power vacuum, but you've seen what this city looks like under the thumb of the drafts. Wouldn't anything be better? Why are you so reluctant in this?
I'm gonna be honest, I just don't want anything to do with the politics of this stupid city one way or another.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't either. That's not the point.
Crim wants to... I want to do a history check here on if Crim would know anything, since technically we're like a neighboring area, more or less, would know anything about the history of this place's, like, leadership log, so to speak. Has it always been, for as far as history goes back, two factions or more warring over the same place? Or is this a more recent development? Like, are we talking a recent fall to chaos, or are we talking Russia for like 2 centuries? What are we
Can I give him help?
looking at here?
It's the Sith rule of 2.
Alright, I'll give you help on that one, Nemo.
Thank.
You guys like murmuring in the back, like, I don't know, what are the odds, Turner?
Yeah. Well, that help worked out. Dirty 20.
Okay. You've heard formal family names. We've already know Scavatory, drafts. There's a couple other that have been thrown around. The drafts have been more or less the public governmental authority, the so-called good guys, form up the town guard and stuff in most places for a long time. All the other families, including the Scavatory, of which Falzone's a part of, have been second best, third best, fourth best in terms of like raw influence, but you know, the exact domains of everyone has shifted around. There's always been some amount of conflict.
Okay. Crim will, after consulting with Turner and basically at this point casting aside that he is a talking dragon at this point. Everyone knows. They were spared by him, it's fine. He raises a claw nervously, says, to inform the others, including possibly Cashmere, who might also be aware of this or might not be. I remember reading about this place's history before. It's kind of always been a lot of feuding families, with the drafts being at the top for a while. If you do get rid of the drafts, or at least take them down to power, it will be very chaotic, and I don't know if that's in our scope right now. Maybe we could spread the word that the drafts are a little weaker than they seem and see them sort themselves out, but us tossing that first blood might not work out too well. I'm with Alex, we should get out of here.
Falzone sighs, flips his knife back into his sheath. Well, I'm not going to be convincing you all. I don't blame you. You've been more involved than you probably care to. Donal sighs. But then
for what it's worth, maybe we should bring the truth out. At the very least, you did kind of try to ambush us and kill us when we did something in the neutral grounds out of the goodness of our hearts and all that. So, you know, that should at least be known, probably. You can't really stop us from doing that. He is now hiding behind Turner.
I suspect Dornell's life will serve you infinitely more than his death, Falzone.
Dornal says, "Oh, well, thank you for your kindness. What I'm wondering is, why, Cashmere, why are you so against the drafts? But not to this point. Why are you doing all of this? Because an old flame asked you to? Because you hate the great life your mother has built for herself? Just because she's tied to the drafts? What is it?"
Cashmere looks down at the ground, and as he's folding back up his spear, You know, I have hated the draft since I was young. Because they changed things. I just wanted to be something of my own, and then Mom goes and decides and marries into your family, and now I'm expected to conform. But it's not me. And it's just
he's
not
a rebellious teen.
He sighs at that because he definitely hears it. I just don't want to be told how to live.
Such a shame you hate being manipulated, because you've been manipulated from the start. Can't you see? All of you, you're in the grip of the Scavatori. Shouldn't you be squirming?
You are in the grip of the drafts. We tell you about your own underlings, Dornell. We didn't try to sabotage the play. I told you.
Oh yeah, you were being manipulated. Forgot about that.
You're the family's useful idiot.
Oh, that's gonna cut. Crim didn't say that one. That's me.
Roll an intimidation check, please, Wade.
Does that count as intimidation? Would it be a intelligence-based intimidation check?
If you'd like, good.
But no, that would fuck me over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, it's something.
Do you want to resolve
14.
it or no?
14.
It's early. I always, whenever I get resolve, it always just stacks my current resolve. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Well, take my resolve.
He shuts up. He just has nothing to say to that. He's like, seems to question things, murmurs Nelfin under his breath, and seems like he's trying to recollect things.
Yeah, well, you go first.
But yeah, I want to stress again, our point was just to get Samaka out of here, weapon or no weapon. I say we do that. We don't even need to take away the power from her. Just to take her out of the city. Leave the city to its misery.
I want to get the power out, actually, but yes.
And perhaps, despite all the trauma, I imagine this place might still be her home. It's not for us to decide to just take her.
Yeah, all that matters is the power. You can decide, though. The fact that you were imprisoned and kind of half dead when we first saw you probably would be wise to consider otherwise.
You know what? Manipulated or not, we get to decide what happens next. Not you, and not you, Falzone.
He raises his chin a little bit and gives you a shrewd smile. Meanwhile, this draft 2 is like attending to the rat, like bandaging wounds, checking pulses and stuff. Just like staying out of this conversation is above my pay grade.
Okay. Should we perhaps leave him to try to clean up his own house now?
Falzone says, well, Samaka is safe in your hands. You all do what you have to do. I'll be here watching over Dornall. Don't worry, I won't cut him. That would not go well with all these witnesses. Scavatori doing the deed. Unheard of, at least publicly. But please, don't leave or do anything final, if you would.
Fair enough.
Aside from removing the power, that's kind of final, but she'll be okay. Just the power itself being removed is a final thing. I don't think we can undo that one.
Sure. If it's safe, yes.
Cashmere grins and says, "You can't tell me what to do." He turns back around to Samaka here.
Look at you, learn to say no.
I'm working on it. Okay. Samaka, what's the deal?
Why don't we go somewhere a bit less crowded and a bit less high in altitude?
We walk over here to this little, I don't know, somewhere nearby where it's like you're not outside of the building, but it's a bit safer.
Yeah, that's good.
Catwalk.
Oh, and
Ha
Huston's
ha,
there
I
too.
get it.
If he wants to join, Huston is there too. Probably.
Crim will, sensing that Samaka is still kind of half asleep, Crim will be standing here by the rails in case she like falls or something. He can make quick work of like stabilizing her. Due to the fact that we're kind of near open air here.
Okay. I don't know who you all are. I barely know what just happened to my body or why this is happening, but Falzone trusts you, so I'll trust you. I gained a power. I don't know
Really?
how. Really?
Karen just kind of gives like just like a look to Wade, and he'll just kind of look to her and say, this is not our first rodeo with this, so we understand that you are not aware of how this power came to be, but it's still manifested within you. We're more concerned about relieving you of that burden and making you less of a target here.
Oh, and also, if you keep using it or keep having it, from what we have seen, it gets worse. So probably best to stop that before that happens.
I don't want it. You can have it. And it's... You said other people can't remember. That's good, yeah. Alright.
As for what it does, do you make alternate timeline strands of people? They make different decisions?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Falzone visited me. I was so grateful. And we touched through the bars before, and I used it as he left. I didn't know if it was safe to tell him what I was doing. I didn't even know if it was going to work. And then from somewhere else, some other world, he was there beside me. Another Falzone, one that was fully on my side. Not that the other Falzone, the true Falzone, isn't. That's how this power works.
So they are more under your direction?
I wouldn't say direction, but I suppose he was. Yeah, he was.
Yet he sabotaged our attempts to try to help you.
Well, in her...
It's not like she knew who we were.
In her defense, she didn't know what we were conspiring.
I told him to work. I told him to work with the drafts, to work with Dornall, to do whatever they asked of him, to be their ally for once. I thought that would put them in good graces to let me go. That's why they did that.
That explains it.
So,
to be clear, I wasn't accusing you, I was just confused.
But that does explain everything.
When he disappeared, did he go back to his timeline, or... I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
I believe it was more of a
That's
clone.
how it works.
Think of it as like a mirror. I don't think I'm actually making someone move between worlds or times. It's more of a reflection.
Mm-hmm.
He was never real.
I looked at too much Mortal Kombat 1.
And it does what you want.
I guess so.
Well, that's a very scary one to have. Hopefully it'll not get too crazy. It usually gets a bit weaker after it leaves the first host, so that's good and a lot. Anyway, let's talk about ways to get rid of that before you make time clones of us.
Okay. Before I get too far off track, I would like an insight check from at least two people. Anyone here is paying attention to the conversation, so...
I will do one.
Two people, sorry.
I will not, because Crim will fail.
Bada boom!
You could
He's
get
probably
an
still
SD.
daydreaming about when she was a dragon.
I'm gonna... Wait, did you say you got an Rotten 20?
That is a 13 from me.
I'm gonna resolve
What did
mine.
you say? Will, what did you say?
I don't remember.
Oh, I guess you didn't roll.
I just said you could get a nat 20.
Oh, okay. So, I resolved and I got a 10 and a 7. That's not good.
All right, we got Alex's 13. He's a skeptical one, so that works out.
Didn't you say you were going to use resolve as well, Talk?
He did.
No, I did
Oh,
not.
sorry.
No. Okay. She seems tired. You still get the sense that she's... I don't know. She's being very guarded around you.
Alex, look,
I mean,
look at the
understandable.
chair. She has some old draconic toast. Look at that. Add a D8.
Can you do that?
I'm right here.
Yeah, I think it's after the result, so...
Can you also like guidance as like a reaction too? But
No.
No.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
With a +7, that is
Holy fuck.
20.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay. That is... It was DC 19, actually, based on what I rolled. Particularly, she seemed to leap... When you, Turner, were like... Oh, yeah, this isn't our first rodeo. We've seen how it works in other people. She, like, leapt on that as if it was an alibi or a perfect excuse and was able to just move right along. But there's something there that she's in particular being guarded about. You would have caught on.
I just love that, like, Wade is like, look at her face! And then it makes it easier for Alex to see.
I can find out another way to flavor it.
I could never look at a. Sorry, I just could never look at a woman. It's because he's gay and
Well,
sexist.
if that seems good, the way... This is going to sound silly, but you're going to have to trust us. The way that it seems to get rid of this power is you have to tell us a secret from the bottom of your heart.
Well, real quickly, can you go back and re-explain to me what the insight I gained was? I was a little confused.
What she
on
jumped
you
on,
said.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. When Turner was like... When she
You've
was
done
like,
this
I
before.
don't remember, and Turner was like, yeah, we know how it works. You don't remember. We've done this before. There's other powers like this. And she was like, oh, great. Okay. Anyway. She just sort of wanted to move past that whole topic.
Yeah, she didn't want to explain how it came to be because she might know a little bit more or something like that. It seems.
Yeah.
We can ask her after we get the powers from her.
You want me to tell you all a secret from the bottom of my heart. Total strangers. Here in this abandoned... I don't even know where we are.
We'll be gone.
To clarify, we
But-
don't all need to be present for it. If you would just like to speak with Cashmere, we can give you space. It's not important that we delve into the dark recesses of your memory.
Yeah, and I'm good at keeping secrets. Right, guys? Looks at the others.
I wouldn't know.
On occasion.
Thanks, guys.
He laughs
Turner was
and then
kind-
gets out of
Turner was-
breath.
Turner was kind of being a bro, saying like, "How would he know if you're not given secrets?"
Oh.
Really? Really?
Really?
That is how it works.
It requires earnestness, I found.
It
Don't worry,
doesn't
we
have.
don't know why either. It just does.
It doesn't even have to be anything that embarrassing or incriminating.
Just something that entails you opening up in some way, as far as we can tell.
Okay.
And again, if you only want to tell one of us, just let us know.
Of course, I'd only rather talk to one of you. Not Cashmere. No, I mean, I know you. It's easier to say something to a total stranger. You, Mr. Crow. You seem... a stranger. Sorry.
Cashmere gasps, hurt.
You seem a stranger too. It was kind of like a step forward.
She, like, steps back, but, like, turns it into a come over here sort of situation.
Yeah, he'll kind of like look to.
Kind of
Oh, okay, never mind.
back off a little bit.
I won't. I suppose I won't think too deeply into why I was given this honor, but at your pace.
You'll get over it. Okay, gotta open it, have to tell a secret, and then I won't have this thing that everyone wants. I can do it. I can do it, Samaka. I can do it.
Mhm.
Don't you dare tell anyone, okay?
Then don't tell me anything that's incriminating to any of my friends back there.
Okay. Well, the only secret I can really think of right now is the only. Sorry. Well, I'm gay. No. The only thing that kept me strong down there is the thought of being up here again and doing work with Falzone again. I think I'm in love.
Oh no.
Well,
And she looks. Oh, go ahead.
I suppose it's possible his wind might blow in multiple directions, but I wish you the best of luck with that.
Her entire expression, her ears and whiskers and everything, like, drop in horror at what you just said, and like her ears start turning pink where they're thin and translucent.
But good decision not to pick Cashmere.
Nice. You get resolve, and also Nama, if I didn't say earlier, you also get resolve for the thing you did to. Anyway.
Neat.
And then she falls on her rump because she is knocked back by the force of the light that has been ejected out of her.
He kind of
And
looks.
everyone can hear this twinkling and see that glow.
I'm now hearing just hearing in my head, hearing like the noise from Mario RPG when you get a star.
Wow.
He'll kind of look back to the others and to Cashmere in particular. Well, you volunteered, did you not?
I think that's your cue, friend.
He looks at it for a moment and blinks. He looks at Crim as well. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, just be careful with it. I don't know what that one's gonna become.
Right.
Although remembering what you did with that potion, maybe I should. Well, hopefully you've learned.
Like imagine, like Cashmere walks over to her, then he just walks back to Crim. Oh, and this one will work better with you.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
OC, do we need further explanation on what this is?
Well, we never really know what it's gonna become.
yeah.
Like, it could be vaguely similar, but honestly, I have two guesses on what it can be, and if it's gonna be what I think it's gonna be, Crim and Cash would equally benefit from it. So story-wise, Cash ought to take it.
Sure.
Hop to it.
He will tentatively lie on his feet, walk over to the light. You know, I know I said earlier that I didn't want this, but I'm wondering. He reaches out to touch it.
Okay. The light reflected in Samaka's curious gaze vanishes as it is pulled into your being.
At the same time, Crim had rushed forward, not for the light, but to catch Samaka because he was on alert for if she ever fell while in this area.
Okay. She is okay with it. You're the friendly dragon, not the mean dragon.
Ooh. The substitutability.
I was right. I was exactly right.
Creature with lifeless soulless, and I'm thinking of some definitions, though. Interesting.
only a round though, so it won't. It is definitely going to be not nearly as potent.
What can it do exactly? Can it just do
Anything
any
the creature can, yeah.
anything the creature can? Okay.
Yeah, duplicate a 9th level spellcaster for a round. That might go well, but their CR might not be within the range.
Right, it has to be.
Well,
Creature must have intelligence. Oh,
turn-
intelligence 6 or higher. Okay.
Turn it into Turner if you want to just have like just a free fireball.
Oh yeah, totally. I can just like copy Turner and just like throw a fireball. Oh, that's okay. That's pretty cool actually.
Just don't
I think
target
there's
someone and cast a
another-
concentration spell.
This sounds like something like Cashmere could use like every combat and get good use out of it. But
well,
Mhm.
I feel like that would be not a good idea.
It's unlimited use.
Yeah.
What if you make a duplicate of yourself who also has the power?
I don't think it would work
no.
that way. I
Probably
think it's like
not.
I think it's like genie rules where you can't just wish for unlimited wishes.
I think the other valuable thing you can do with this is an aggro tank. For example, if Crim is low on health or some such, and he has to fall back, and you do that, and instead you make a Crim that defends for that time, you have someone who can defend for a bit, while Crim of this world may just flee to recover. Best of both worlds.
There's a lot you could do with this.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong. Though
It's probably going to have hella side effects if you use it more than once. So choose wisely.
Pick your moments.
And if they're unwilling, okay, there is a bit of a check. But if they're not, it's just like one of us. Then pretty good.
I can remind you, like, you guys seen like the ending of the Mortal Kombat 1, like the new one, like the campaign.
I have
It's super-
I know a little bit about it. I know they do like a lot of like time shenanigans.
I've seen the video explaining the entire plot. I know what you're talking about.
This is like the Armageddon ending. I mean,
So, Tal, let's say theoretically, I copy Wade. The copy of Wade uses Bless. Does the Bless stay after the copy's gone?
Like I said, probably don't do
No,
anything
because
that's
it's-
concentration.
No, because the creature that's concentrating on the spell no longer
Oh, okay.
exists at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
my speech falters.
Also,
Okay,
if anybody
that's fair.
like if anybody in the party like really pisses you off, you can copy them and then just punch them in the face.
What a dick.
Okay. Continuing on. Cashmere holds his hand to his chest. Like, his mind races with possibilities. New things he can do.
Cash, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy are you right now?
Relative to your default set or state.
At least a little bit more,
Oh, that's bad.
but in a good way. I
Oh,
think.
that's really bad.
I was gonna say.
This burden shall stay with you for a long while yet.
Let's talk about this later.
Okay.
As you make your way back to the main area, somehow Falzone has relieved all of your opposition, along with Huston, who's kind of like looks like he's a witness to a crime. He's relieved all the opposition of like their fancy gear and special swords. Even the cape off of Dornall's back are like in his hands.
Oh god, he's like Bugle from a couple of years ago.
Fucking. Oh
Blue
my
Goblin.
god, maximum looting.
I told you, Will, and nowadays I'm a people pleaser.
Welcome back.
Oh, character arc. Oh, you've been busy.
To the victor go the spoils. I mean, at least you guys spared them. That's the epitome of kindness.
Negotiation
There.
goes south.
Their shiny things are mine. That's how it is.
Crim looks sad.
At least you didn't
Oh.
kill them.
Oh,
You
well,
can steal what you want.
you did all the work. Don't need to look sad. And he holds it all out to you, Crim.
A gift.
Don't want them to have it, you know?
Oh, well, maybe only a little. He seems to be wrestling between his natural modesty and his dragon greed as he stares at all of the shiny things.
Useful to have. I was thinking we should check the generators as well before we head out.
Oh, that is true. The power of science sates Crim's greed, and he just takes he takes a few that like catch his eye, and then shoves that into his bag, and then heads over to the machines to investigate.
Okay. As you guys... Are you all doing that, more or less?
We're checking if there's I think Bugle is alluding to the effusia that we might be able to salvage from it. Exusia, thank you.
Okay.
Since we did bust up the machines, but hey, maybe we'd be able to take some of that fuel data. We have some folks who might want that.
Okay. As you're walking over there, some deft hands are around your neck in a moment, Cashmere. Not to choke you, but to fasten something, and you find yourself wearing a cloak, and Falzon's looking at you admiringly, like, it suits you.
What? Wasn't Dornell wearing this?
Yes, but he's not anymore. Anyway, I've got to, and he starts walking away as if he's got urgent business elsewhere in the room.
Oh, wait, we never did resolve. Who put the pin?
Remind me to examine that later, please, Cashmere.
Wait. Cashmere goes out and grabs his arm.
Okay.
Thanks. You kept your promise.
You're welcome. And thank you.
Alika apparates from behind Cash and stabs him.
Thank you for, helping when you came here.
Yeah. Yeah. See you around?
Yeah. Alright. Lots to do. World's going crazy. I'll see you around, yeah.
Good. He takes a step back.
Yeah. You look sad, but has accepted something. Lets you go.
To think, things you could do with that power for less than wholesome.
Hey, wait, how far of a drop is it down here?
Quite a bit. Please don't.
Yeah.
But
It's actually about 30 feet or so. I've been measuring my jumps lately, and I got about 2/3 of the way up.
Well,
yeah, I'm out of protocols.
Well, at least you'll land on your feet.
Yes. But back to brass tacks. Yeah, I still wonder who put that pin on Cashmere, the tracker.
Is Falson already gone?
He's like in the room, but not with you anymore.
Okay, yeah. Cashmere just shrugs. Well, they're not tracking me now. Whatever.
Thought they'd be able to track you for much longer anyway once we get out of here. Got what we needed. I think they're gonna sort themselves out.
Well, I got enough magic in me to dispel that if you would like.
I'm ready to leave. You know, I've gotten my fill.
I'm ready for a long nap.
And this woke apparently.
I think Crim and I, if you would like to help me, can maybe try to salvage what we can from here, and then we'll see you back at a room.
Who, me?
Well, no, he's saying, they're gonna try to, salvage the exusia from here, and then you guys can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah. We'll see you then.
Okay. Well, as this next bit is going on, Huston would be with the bigger group, just awkwardly following. Lucky would have reappeared at some point with some other drafts. There's some wounds on people. Looks like one person's unconscious, but no one dead. Everyone's kind of reconvening cautiously. Drafts on one side, Scavatory on the other, and sooner or later they would kind of leave with some venomous looks, as if they hate each other even more, although Samaka's dealt with at least.
We would give like Huston a little pat on the back. Good to see your friend. How did you know we'd be here?
Oh yeah, how did you find us?
It wasn't the real Huston. It was a fake.
I smelled plot. My nose is very sensitive.
Are you an alternate timeline of Huston? Is the one we know still at the waterfall?
Oh,
How many fingers is he holding behind his back?
Well,
he would explain real quick, like, I found myself at this. He would explain out of character. He would explain real quick. He found himself at this monastery per the directions that Cashmere gave. This place that wasn't too busy, very peaceful, seemed very safe, and met with this one rabbit who almost seemed to expect him coming. And said he could leave his things here. And after they talked, he trusted the guy. And he came back as quickly as he could because he couldn't stop worrying about what you guys were getting into. He saw that the place you were staying at was under surveillance constantly, so didn't want to make contact. But as you went to this meeting, he finally had his chance to kind of follow you. And then he jumped in when there was actually danger.
I like to imagine, like, he starts talking and his voice just goes blurry indistinct as we narrate over him, like, as the camera pans away.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
What?
did you get the name?
You'd say briny.
My uncle.
Good show. Is the silk still with him, or?
Yeah, it is. He's a good man. I don't know, he has this sort of watchful vibe to him. I really related to it.
Huh.
Briny's great. We should go meet him sometime.
Yeah, he told me a lot about you, so I could trust him, I felt.
I think we're going to be going to see him pretty soon anyway, because we have to go back to pick up the goods.
When he asks who's coming to see him, we can tell him we're the silk sellers.
Why are you shaking your head, Neville?
It's probably a reference I don't understand. So
it's just our team name, or maybe the Strands of Time.
Told you.
Well, that's better, but
That's a good one. It's like sand, but strands, because silk. Yeah.
I should have said that during the play. Damn it. All right. Anyway.
I suppose it'd be self-serving to call us the Time Turners.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, but I'm sure at least Lucky has a stronger hand in his negotiation now.
Okay.
Crim is Samaka still around?
Where would she be hanging out? She'd be hanging out with Falzone, so yeah.
Okay. Crim would slink on over to Falzone and Samaka briefly, and he would quietly ask, by the way, I have a small question. Did you like being a dragon for that brief time?
Well, not really. I'm more of the work from the shadows, help other people not be a big scary monster with giant claws. It was interesting. I appreciated that. I was very sleep deprived, and that experience really woke me up.
Okay. Crim kind of slinks off again to return to the others.
Okay. She looks like
His
she wants to ask you
motivations
things.
are an
Yeah.
enigma.
Okay. Fair. All right, these machines. This one, I believe, is the closest one. Would be the one that had been just destroyed by a flame blade, slicing through all the critical portions of it. It looks like a mixture between a chemistry set, a printing press, and some like a forge. It's very complex. The luminous green light is no longer there. There's traces of something coating the bottom of these pipes. There's complex machinery on the inside that's very difficult to understand. These aren't just the normal metalworking things that are all around you dilapidated. These have been modified. And looks like they were modified quickly. There's a lot of like, oh, that looks like fresh paste still glistening, and that doesn't match the color scheme of all this. It's from a different time, like hastily done.
Is there some type of like a check to either try to learn more about it or to salvage what we can?
If the green stuff is already gone, is that saying that the exusia had already decayed, so to speak?
Hard to say. We shall need a check indeed. That's,
But the record stands, someday there's going to be a big fight against a common threat, and we shall have to explain why we can't use these.
Well,
I think alchemist supplies check would be the lowest DC. You could still gain some from glassblower's tools, mason's tools, tinker's tools, and then least helpful of all would be an arcana check.
Okay. I have Tinker's tools. I don't have glassblowers, but does anyone have alchemist tool proficiency?
I doubt it. Let me double check. I don't think I have any tool proficiencies, actually.
I think I'm Tinker's too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I had to pick something.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Was
if it can give me
mine?
a help action, then that'll be nice.
How about carpenter's tools?
Uh,
No, I don't got anything.
I got paint supplies.
I don't think that'll help. Would I be able to? Would I be able to recruit Alex for guidance and Wade for help, as well as a potential bardic?
I mean, Crim's also just raw helping with his. Well, it's a different proficiency
Yeah.
though, so that won't fit. Never mind.
Yeah, more just like going for mechanical.
Would be an Arcana check with Tinker's tools, I assume.
Cause yeah, like I can do
What would be the?
Tinker's tools. Cause
yes.
Cause yeah, Wade has proficiency, so he should be able to give me help.
Oh, that's
yes,
what you
I
meant.
can give
Okay.
you guidance.
I'm sorry.
Everyone
Well,
needs a
that's
hobby.
right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. This is no longer like a skill thing. Okay. All right, then I'll do my default my 2d20 plus will this be intelligence based?
Mm-hmm.
So plus 7, I believe. Okay. A nat 1 and a 19 on the die, so we'll go with the 26.
Neat.
Man. Okay. Yes. This thing. So basically, this creates crazy magical effects, as you saw in the combat, and the reason for its potency is the exusia. There is still traces of it. It's a very the 26. You understand that it's a very unusual substance in that it's not only a fuel, but it's also like electricity. Like it's the thing that moves through this machinery to power it, and the fuel isn't consumed rapidly. It's kind of like a catalyst in a fuel, I guess you could say. Magical wibbly wobbly terms, strange explanation, right? There's nothing like it in our world that I can easily compare it to. It is there to collect, although there isn't much. Some of it was consumed in the combat and to power this stuff.
And all of them are kind of gathering from the same source, so it's not like this would be repeated twice. It would just be one that they're all pulling from.
Yeah, there's like a circuit that goes underneath this whole battleground.
Okay. Yeah, Turner's a little disappointed by that, but hey, it was either that or their lives.
Find like little pockets of this fine, dull green powder, like in the bends of the tubes where things got caught, like in the cracks. It'll take a good amount of time to do this.
Actually, I think based on that description, us destroying the machines made it so that we have more to work with. Because it's consumed through the magical effects, and if they've been running for longer, then more of it would have been used up. So technically, this was an ideal outcome. Crim points this out to Turner.
Okay, gonna spend like maybe 20 minutes gathering all this stuff into some safe container then?
Yeah, however long. Turner, fortunately, has not been drawing aggro, so he's feeling okay.
Okay. It's noted
Crim
what
will
you're
help.
doing, but no one raises a fuss. Okay. You may add...
What are you going to do about it? Fight us? Ha!
Let's say 6 ounces of... do we use metric in this campaign or imperial? We use imperial. Yes, 6 ounces of exusia.
No, you gotta go crazier. We gotta start using cooking measurements. We got 6 tablespoons here.
Oh my gosh, I have no idea how much that is.
Are we measuring in U.S. or Canadian gallons?
Oh my gosh.
That's they're different. I didn't know that.
It's a little better measurement than horsepower.
Oh,
Uplifted or feral horse?
Yeah, right. It's like the snake oil salesman. Oh yeah, this thing's 8 horsepower. Uplifted, I mean. Oh.
Yeah, I imagine people were kind of like leaving anyway, so like I didn't imagine there'd be a whole lot of eyes watching us. So people got to go and clean their wounds off and stuff.
so it's like 0.83 Canadian gallon is 1 U.S. gallon. Okay.
He actually looked it up.
It is 0.3 weird gallons.
And Crim, you would find yourself in possession of the short sword that stabbed Cashmere, that prevented him from healing because it was shiny. A whistle that was certainly gleaming and shiny.
Ooh.
You have a special cape on you, Cashmere, and you wouldn't know it, but at some point, Cashmere, if you looked in your bag, you would find a wooden ring made of like twine.
Ooh.
This is for the purpose of me putting stuff on my sheet. Is the short sword and whistle magical?
Yes.
Okay.
If I may make my case over ownership.
We'll do the
Yeah, I'm just putting it there for now.
obligatory identifies later.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but the rat was using the whistle in combat. That's how he was using that as a spellcasting focus.
Wade looks impressed. He's like, game recognizes the game.
Well,
It's so obnoxious, like they're both shouting whistles at each other.
What? Foul ball! No, you're a bad player. Okay.
My gosh, it's Mystery of Francis.
What's next for the party?
We save who we can, lead the city to its fate.
I imagine, God, you make it sound so bleak. I imagine converse with Huston, figure out what the plans are for, what's next on our job list.
Because I mean, like realistically, like we saved Samaka, but otherwise we haven't really improved the city in many other ways.
Well, we
Not like we could have done anything.
We embarrassed the shit out of like the person in charge, so that at the very least we'll give others like a fighting chance of like not being subservient. But hey, yeah, not much we could have done here.
I mean, yeah, there's something to be said about knocking them down a peg.
Crim did mention spreading out what happened here. Plenty of witnesses, and that's kind of the most we can really do in this state.
I wonder, like we come back in a month, it's a goddamn civil war.
I imagine if anything, maybe Turner would just like wherever news spreads, just try to see what news of the other time disasters of both.
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
And on the way out, as you reconvene, heading back to the tavern, a black-furred rabbit would have come out of the night, approaching you, hands bared, and said that, Scavadori need to skedaddle, reconvene, figure things out. But you guys really helped us out. Let us know if you have need of any favors. You're good with the family, and if you need to use one of our safe houses, get a good night's rest, we can fix up your gear, we can show you some proper hospitality, or not. This is an offer you can refuse.
A rest sounds nice.
We'll
rest there. We still won't get a goddamn long rest because we still won't feel safe.
I think we can at least relax enough. Maybe that's a personal choice.
Yeah. Cashmere would say thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
Bro, I want that long rest. I need my spell slots,
How
man.
far away is that monastery?
Tustin would say it's like the better part of a day's walk. But should be easier. Maybe some side paths you can take without a caravan in tow.
And the party was ambushed halfway and all died because the combat encounter wasn't rated.
Sorry guys, this is essential, but...
It's a dog. Oh no, he's blood-based.
Oh my gosh!
So cute. Okay.
He's having a good time.
He is relaxed.
Okay.
Well, at least he was relaxed. And I ruined it.
Okay.
Good boy.
Where do you go? I mean, needless to say, you can get a short rest for now, but it's getting towards midnight probably by the time all's said and done.
I think we just go with Huston to make sure everything's good there, I think.
Well, he said
Or-
the better part of a day's journey, so we'd have to rest. some
yeah,
days.
we'll probably just rest. I think we just rest at the inn for one final time then, don't we?
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Well,
Yeah.
But
Totally.
But it wouldn't help.
Turner will set up a few alarms.
Okay, darn. Ah,
You mean
they
darn?
detect magic and find the alarm and you avoid the encounter. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, you get some much feels good rest. We can identify the loot now if that's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That
Yes,
I
yes,
wanna-
yes. What do we got? What do we got?
You have. Could I link this? Yes, I can.
Okay, I currently will have
Up.
one of each level spell slot now.
The wooden twine ring, one of you guys with a good memory would probably recognize. This was a ring that Dornall was wearing that was next to this luxurious looking diamond ring, and he would kind of hold his hand out when he was casting his spells. I should copy. How do I copy paste this? I wasn't prepared.
You press Control C.
Yeah, but it's a table. It's not going to go into
I know,
Discord.
I'm being silly. Is it like on an Excel spreadsheet or something, or
No.
you can always do a screenshot?
Imagine like you just go swimming in a lake and you're like, shit, I lost the ring.
Loot? If your spellcaster, okay. Ooh.
There's a bit more. One sec. For Pine.
Where's the top?
Oh, oops. Wrong. That's wrong.
Type associated with the items wood. Types of wood are and they're associated and listed they viewed with.
it seems like something for Alex. It's a very druid thing, isn't it?
Seems like
A
it.
little bit, yeah.
Maybe.
Where one of you guys take the whistle, I swear.
So it's basically a combination of these two things. It works for those three types.
Okay.
Probably best for me then.
Yeah, it's fine.
The cloak is a. It seems to be constantly have been like billowing in a non-existent breeze as you've been walking, Cashmere. It is a
God
cloak of
damn it.
billowing.
Now we just need the dread helm.
Oh, it's a cool thing. Is that true?
That is
It's
cool.
like one of the most inconsequential magic items that are just kind of cool to have, but don't really do anything.
I guess I'll just keep it. Why not?
Eh. And that's the short sword.
Oh shit!
Unless like Wade wants to be cool or Crim. Maybe Crim wants to be cool.
I'm content with that. It's like
So
keep
with these for one round, there's a little bit of ambiguity. Does that mean it lasts until the start of your next turn or the end of your next turn?
Let's go with start.
This. Does anyone want this?
Let me take a look. Hold on. I mean, I probably won't even be able to use it, but
Yeah, first of all, who's proficient in short sword?
I am.
Have you ever used melee attacks?
Yeah. I should lay that plenty of times.
that's actually like a really good effect, though.
Cashmere is proficient with short swords. Actually, technically, Alex is as well.
Yeah, the default here would be Crim. If Crim absorbs this, he can basically switch swords, so to speak, when he attacks. If someone's uninjured, that's an extra 1d8. And otherwise, he'd switch to the other one.
As an effect on its own, that's really good. Like, I think.
As like an opener for combat, sure, definitely.
Yeah.
However, Cash hits more. So, and he usually gets first strikes, right? So, however, he can't do his monk stuff with this, can he?
Yeah, he can. If he has proficiency with it, he should be able to.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, it would be a monk weapon.
Yeah, like
okay. I thought it was unarmed stuff. Okay,
Flurry of blow stuff. No, he can't. But as long as he like lands like a regular action attack, he should be fine. And the nice thing about like monks, I think this is a rule. I think like if the power of like your unarmed strike goes up, doesn't like your damage with monk weapons also go up to match it if it's lower?
No.
Oh, I thought that was the thing.
I had to remove that because I think it was a bit too powerful with weapon mastery.
Oh, I see.
This does seem pretty strong. Get a first hit in, then followed up with a stunning strike. They can't move, they can't be healed. Kind of good, but I don't know.
Fine, I'll use it.
The alternative is that, we break it down and the effect gets added.
I think this is one worth holding on to.
It's not breaking down, it's Crim absorbs it, and he can restore it later if we need to.
I think he might have meant for resonance, but...
The resonance transfer thing, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I think he meant less recycle it and more move the effect to another item.
Yeah. Which, I mean, can't you do that with, like, Crim's Claws or something? Or...
I don't think he can directly imbue things to living things. I think it has to be magic item to magic item, or magic item to item.
Okay.
Does it work on ranged weapons, or does that have to be on ammunition? Like a fucking +1 arrow?
It has to be like.
Yeah.
Can't put a devastating two-headed great sword effect onto, like, a dagger and then...
So,
Why not?
Because the items are too dissimilar, so the resonance cost is super high or impossible, I think. I have to check the wording.
I mean, the magic item, and we can discuss it after session.
I think...
Yeah, but bottom line, it's just for right now, before we start doing resonance stuff, this is a short sword with a cool effect for first strikers in particular.
Yeah.
So we basically have 2 candidates for that.
Oh yeah, like... I mean, Cashmere has alert, so he can get pretty high up, but he can also switch places with somebody. So, I mean,
to test it more after session, maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of half and half on it because it's like, yeah, it's a really good effect for Cashmere, but also like I don't want to just take everything.
And last but not least,
Let's give it a look. See.
Eventually, there'll be like something catered to Turner.
Rolling whistle. Instruments. Ouch.
Wow.
Alright, I think this should go to Crim.
Wow. Yeah, totally. Great idea.
Yeah,
Crim...
it is rare. Jesus Christ, this is really fucking good.
oh, why did I put uncommon and then rare? But I think it's rare.
Some good items.
Yeah, this
Especially
one's very definitely a Wade one.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, for flavor, I might transfer it over to his parents' whistle sometime.
This whistle was made for me.
Appreciate it, guys.
Lion's Roar is from I think that book.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is a superior whistle. It's slightly less obnoxious.
Let me look here. It's in Delver's spells?
No, it's the word that I cannot bear to say.
We'll send it to you later, Snap.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Is the disadvantage on saving throws for charm, is that unlimited or is that only?
I believe it's forever, everything, yeah.
So, and it's not just the spells like on the whistle. It's like if I use the whistle to cast any of my spells in my spell list, right?
Yeah, anything that would inflict charm at the time that effect occurs, they have disadvantage.
Yeah,
That's how I understand it.
That's pretty fucking good, right?
Neat.
Very good.
Plus, you could offer it to people and be like, hey, want to try my whistle? And they try and blow it, and like, and they die from the psychic damage.
That would kill a commoner, yeah. Assuming you get you don't get below average damage.
I see that's like a brutal method of torture. You just shove in their lips, play it.
You can cover their nose so they have to breathe with their mouth.
Oh my god.
Wow. It's been like 5 minutes and we've already found fucked up ways to use this.
Well, the thing is, this is really fucking good. Wow, nice. All I need now is win boots and I'll be a happy man for the rest of the campaign. And a gun.
And a gun.
And a gun.
We'll defeat you with the power of friendship and this gun I found.
Now, can you give people a gun? Is that possible? Can you do that?
I kind of have one now. I sort of.
I don't
He
know
had
if
one
both
last
is ready
campaign.
for a gun. Yeah.
Well, maybe a repeating shot hand crossbow.
I don't know. Might require 2 men by an artificer.
Ouch.
All right.
Shall we take a break, cease at this point?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be good.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Bye-bye.
Oh, pardon me. Hello. Welcome back, everyone.
Okay.
I'm now from the UK.
What?
Okay. Just a quick clarification to anybody watching. We kind of looked over the magic items. Turner is going to be using the imbued wood focus because he tends to do elemental damage quite a bit more frequently. So hopefully that'll work well for him. Thanks,
Yeah,
Doc,
or minor
for
edits. Okay. Right, sleepy time, identification. Okay, so it's sleepy time now. Cool. And I want to mention too, Turner, you mentioned getting that Resonance book from Mamelon. And I will say at this point, you've gotten to a chapter of that book that's more intriguing than the ones before it. The text is really now getting into the meat of what has been shown to be possible with Resonance, improving the potency of an enchantment, even changing the domain and intent of that enchantment to a degree through these Eidos processes that are somewhat understood. So, got some context for that exusia, I suppose.
Yay. Not that I plan to, or not that we necessarily plan to immediately regroup with them, but like, would Turner have like any idea of where like the brouhaha might be at this time of year, or were they not like, do they not have like patterns that they would stick to?
They're pretty characteristically not patterned. Maybe there's some business deals or recurring things that occur once a year, every 2 years, but this time of year, spring, not that you recall. You did know you saw them traveling northward at that one location.
Okay.
In the night, a dream occurs. Perhaps you all can dream. You can choose for a kid to have dreamt of something. That's totally reasonable. But one person's dream goes like this.
Make sure your dialogue isn't set to private.
That a Baldur's Gate reference?
Yes.
That's a Baldur's Gate reference.
Well, oh, it is again. Crim, what do you think you're dreaming about as you first doze off?
Crim would be dreaming about being in a stuffy little room, but now he's a dragon this time, as he's poring over books and looking through potions and writing little runes on the ground in chalk. His paws are covered in chalk so that his scales look dull. And despite how dreary everything looks, there's sun shining through the window. He is quite content in this dream. It's a combination of the past and present.
Okay. The window lifts up, opening to sunshine outside, as a new figure enters your dream. It is a dragon that you've seen before. What is its appearance, knowing it as a presence that is wise, powerful, and benevolent?
Crim remembers seeing this dragon a lot in his dreams and his hallucinations. He has no idea what was real and what wasn't during that time when he was just a child. Seeing it sometimes in the sky far away as maybe a trick of the eye, and sometimes very definitely in his dreams, as if encouraging him to do one thing or another, and sometimes he disagrees, and other times he gets epiphanies. This great white dragon seems to always exude this sense of safety to Crim. Whether that's magical or just a psychological Pavlovian effect, Crim doesn't know. He doesn't have the wisdom for that. But when he sees this dragon again, he springs to his feet and forgets about his research and his dreams. His dream research.
And the stuffy room does feel safe as this white dragon's head pokes in over you, looking down at you with a smile. I am my tender hatchling, Crimson Lightwing. I hope you've been enjoying your wings. You made them with your own intelligence, your own perseverance, your own choices.
Crim is starstruck. He doesn't say anything, really. He just watches.
It puffs out its breath on your face, and it's warm. It smells like a fresh breeze outside that you might get flying through the clouds, even though you've not done that yet.
Soon.
This wonderful new life you have delighted in, I wish to bestow upon others who suffer as you did. I shaped the paths of that ritual.
Of course, that makes sense. I figured there was no way I would have been able to do something like that all on my own. I mean, sure, my parents helped and the library helped, and something happened after that. I can't remember what, but yes, it must have been you that helped me near the end about something. But yes, of course, I've actually just seen someone who is unwell and briefly became a dragon through some temporary thing, and well, she didn't really like being a dragon. That was kind of sad, but she was better for a little bit. It just makes me think that surely others would too.
He chuckles and says, "Your words are in a race. There is no rush. Don't sell yourself short, Crimson. I would welcome your assistance, finding and helping people like that. The task ahead of me could be lightened by someone strong and bright like yourself."
Oh, I love that, but well, I can't really make decisions like that while here. Oh, I'm dreaming. That's right, I am dreaming, aren't I? Well, there's something that I'm caught up in right now that I can't walk away from, but afterward, I'd love to help. That's what I've been hoping to do.
Well, you have plenty of time. Weeks. Spring has not yet ended, but summer. Summer is the time when the flame of a life assaulted by the winds of change is strongest and can hold true. Go northwest when you can. You will find my trail, and your intellect, I know, will not fail you.
Northwest? But that's... Okay, I understand.
You mention something strange, a gap in your memory. You don't remember the sacrifice you made, do you? The price that was paid for your superior form and new life?
No, I don't. I remember making the ritual circle. I remember putting things a certain way. I remember deciphering something, some final secret about the ritual, the last component, but then it's all a blur. I think that was like a good week that I just lost. Well, with the ritual at least. I remember being upset for a while, but I don't know why. Maybe it was just a hard component to find.
I will tell you the answer, and more, to settle your heart.
Oh, okay.
The dream is starting to fade. Just smiles, seems appreciative of what you've said, like withdraws his head out of the window.
Okay, I'll try to convince them. Shouldn't be too far. Besides, birds love silk, I think.
He laughs again, seeming amused. And as you wake, you will remember this dream in detail, but everyone else in this tavern room in Naverby, you were woken by Crim loudly talking in his sleep, and you could hear everything he said, more or less, that Crim said.
Oh, nice. Well, that secret's out.
It's probably like 3 a.m. Crim has just loudly slept-talked. No, he's never done this before.
Oh, Crim, if you're gonna have recollections, do it in the other room.
Turner just has like a little light cantrip on, kind of keeping it a bit like a bit covered so it's not too bright, but just like to see. And then he says like, "Crim, it's not unusual for you to talk in your sleep, but."
What? Huh? Oh, northwest.
Yeah, we heard that part.
Oh, how much of that did you hear? Crim wobbles to his feet, falls over, tries again. That time he's successful.
Fingers are crossed. I have my webcam closed or off just while I'm eating. Like, you know, it's like when someone's like walking by on their cell phone, you hear one side of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'll explain.
Birds do like silk, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
good. That's good. Can we go to my hometown next? I got a very vivid dream that might be relevant for things, and well, if we're trying to avoid trouble, Alex, this is actually a very safe place to go. The dragon in my dreams, he's real, and he talked to me. He's really cool. Can we see him, please?
What? Crim, it's just a dream.
No, this one's definitely real. It's the same one.
Sure. Why
I'm
not?
tired, Crim. Can we talk about this tomorrow?
Oh, what time is it? Okay.
Rotor checks his watch.
2:26.
3 a.m. Well,
Don't have dragon dreams at 3 a.m. gone wrong.
It is roughly 2:30 in the morning, Crim.
oh, that's very early. Okay, I'll just I'll write this down so I don't forget, and then I'll yeah, we can talk tomorrow about that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a little better to do.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Maybe we shouldn't be making decisions at 2 in the morning, but I'm okay with it. I got my fill here already, so you guys can say where to go next, or whatever.
He's just dead. Crim
Alright.
spends a good hour logging down every detail he remembers. Even if he does remember it in the morning, he doesn't know that, so he makes sure to log down everything that happened and then tries to go to sleep. He eventually probably does at like 4.
Okay. And one little point of clarification: when the dragon said "go northwest," you suspect that northwest was capitalized, like not "go in this direction" necessarily, but like perhaps could have easily said "go to the northwest." Maybe some room for interpretation there.
Well, if that's the case, northwest where they currently are is straight to where he lives, but from there, I mean, it's still along the way, technically.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
Although they'd probably need to... They'll consult a map for easy routes, and as Crim logs it down, he'll probably clarify in the morning what he heard.
Okay. Alright, well,
That's all.
Morning comes. Do you wish to have another scene where you talk about it, or more just like figure it out as you go?
Crim will briefly go over a few things about what happened. He'll describe it. Cash knows he sucks at lying, so you're pretty confident he told the truth of what he recalled. And then he finishes by saying, I think Northwest is more of a geographical location on second thought. Maybe he doesn't actually know where I am right now, since he seemed a little curious about things I was saying, so Northwest could be probably anywhere from Apex Woods onward, if I'm guessing.
So, to clarify, does Crim basically tell us the entire dream?
Yeah, he does.
Alex has a very concerned look on his face. Okay,
Alex?
Crim, one of two things is happening here. One, this is just a dream. Or two, you're basically being turned into a cult leader.
A cult for turning people into dragons?
Yes.
That sounds great!
You get resolved, Doug.
Well, will these new followers of yours all be people who are at death's door?
Well, sounds like it. Or at least people who'd be in need of it. Probably people who want another life like I did.
I mean, what's it matter? If somebody wants to be a dragon, they can be a dragon.
I'm
Not a
curious.
huge deal.
sort of sacrifice it would require that you apparently made.
Well, I don't remember what it was, but it was probably very hard to get. Then I got lucky.
I think you have a soul.
Yeah, that
Oh, I hope so. I think I do. I'm not a zombie. I checked. Trust me, I checked. That was one of the first things I was worried about.
Crim, I am open to this new idea of yours, but as with all things, I think a bit more knowledge about what exactly it is that we'll be getting into would benefit us.
Yeah.
Just similar to these powers that we have, we don't want to just start turning people into dragons without knowing what the cost is going to be.
That's true, but the dragon said he'd tell me, so if we want knowledge, we'd be going to the same place.
Would your parents or your family happen to know what this cost was?
Well, I don't remember if I ever told them. Everything about that cost was hazy. Maybe the cost was the memory of the cost. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Well, either way, we could always go and ask them. If he meant northwest more literally from where I am, that's actually where I live. It's just north of the peninsula. I don't know where the map is, but it's a little hard to find, but I know the way.
Well, we could always just take a boat. Will someone say something?
I would recommend maybe a little bit more caution before you blindly trust this figure this completely.
As I said.
He saved my life.
But there could be any number of hidden motives for doing that.
Well, the hidden motive is turning more people into dragons, and that's a good thing.
Crim,
Oh.
you are much better at reading books than people.
Hold on. So you're saying it's northwest past the peninsula?
Well, it could be, when I think about it more and some context clues and from what you guys told me, it's either northwest from where we are or northwest on all of Bose, which would be a lot further, but probably along our silk path, one way or the other.
I mean, if we're already going to see my uncle, then that's it's in the same direction, not along the way.
Yeah, speaking of that, if we could see your uncle. Then if we're checking the map, Crim finally finds the map and he checks it, even though it's rudimentary. Yeah, we see your uncle, then we see my place, and then along the way to northwest, that's Karifi. That's the best place of knowledge. We can get some info there, and then we continue northwest if, our knowledge keeps pointing us that way, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, the only other item I think requires our attention is our utter rival / acquaintance. We've heard of his exploits.
That's true, but we don't really know where he is.
Do you recall the conversation? Well, of course you recall. We all recall at the we're getting our clothes. Did they mention where he was, Tal?
Let me check my notes as you search your memories.
Yeah, we don't got to fight you for this now, or make a check.
Don't forget, Cashmere has the ear thingy, so you'd remember.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Bickle was getting at.
After Dornall. Teenage son, right. Did you guys talk with them about that otter?
I think we just overheard it, didn't we?
I think they asked us about it.
Oh, right.
I think they were
we did go
talking
back and forth
about
about that. The funny little guy who had a mental breakdown, then just had to. He had an altercation of some kind. I don't recall the outcome of that. We weren't there. We just heard of it. A koi hunter or whatever.
Yeah. So the 2 times you heard of it were, I think, in Mamelon, where there was that interview happening, and that incident seemed to have happened there many weeks ago. And then you started hearing about other koi stuff during the fitting for the play in this town, but there was no mention otherwise of his whereabouts or whatever.
All right. I still think it's worth investigating.
Yeah, and look, you guys, you helped me out when I needed it. Brought me here. I'm willing to help you guys out. Wherever you need to go.
How extremely niche and stupid question. Does Bose have an equivalent legend to the Japanese legend of a koi that swims up a waterfall, and if it does so, it becomes a dragon?
It's called a magic
Your head
card.
tilt means that you have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
No.
Understood.
The connotations of what like a koi fish is would be identical, but not that specific legend, I would say.
Okay. Just FYI, that's the Magikarp thing.
Yeah, Gyarados.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
Alright.
I guess I'll have to get a favor in mind to impose upon you all next, huh?
Although I suppose based on Gyarados' typing, a better interpretation would be that it goes up a waterfall and becomes a bird.
Is it water flying?
Dragonite group, it's fine.
Yes, water flying.
Okay.
Gen
Thanks,
1
Gen
was
1.
stupid.
That's the Mega Evolve.
Crim kind of beams at Cashmere and says, and besides, he says, looking like a kid trying to find excuses for doing this cool thing, but like finding practical reasons for it. It's along the way to Karifi, and that's like the best place to sell this silk. So, you know. Also, like my parents are a little rich too, so maybe they'll buy silk too, and things like that.
Forward, I'd like to help while I'm still able.
How privileged.
Well, I mean,
Sure.
I wasn't going to afford those ritual materials otherwise.
Oh, maybe that was a sacrifice. They are now deeply in debt.
Yeah, you've heard the phrase that no amount of gold ever bought a second time. I guess for you, it's the same.
Making your way, you knock on the door that Huston got a room or something late at night, or whatever, and he's like, oh, 1 more hour. Sounds like really sleepy and out of it after last night's adventures. And you know the kind clarinet has breakfast included, so as you head to that room to break your fast this lovely morning, just as you're arriving, you see his back turned to you, sitting down and like being handed a simple menu. That same otter you saw
There
in
we
the
go.
Riverside Cave a few weeks ago. He's just, back away from you, like, scratches and reads.
All right, guys, it's
He's
time
got
to
like
go.
a backpack that he's
Fucking Will.
wearing. Oh, I get it. He's wearing, like dark clothes, got a backpack with a lot of straps tight to his body. Doesn't like look around much. He's like focused on the task.
Well, I suppose that happens sooner or later. And it's alright, I guess. Wade will just, like scamper up like beside him. So is the seat free?
Well,
He says like no immediately without really looking at you, and then he looks at you, and there's like the scraping of the wooden table or chair legs on the wooden floor. He says, "Yes,
Grim waves.
please."
Oh, I mean, like Mr. Braun.
Fancy seeing you here.
I put his image on the stream for any viewers to refresh them.
Can you imagine, like, how easy statistically it would be to fake knowing someone who's an otter by saying, "Hey, Devron!" and you just walk over and try to fleece them with false familiarity?
Like,
Like,
oh
hey,
yeah.
Hey, John, good to see you.
Yeah, fancy seeing you all here too. You must be important. Bumped into you a second time now.
Say the same for you. I'd ask what brought you here, but I suspect we both already know.
Well,
Were you chasing after another time thing?
One that had been causing trouble in a town such as this? I can take a guess what that is.
He like moves to move the table to like the far wall for a bit more privacy. as the
Grim
conversation
assists.
continues. Okay. Thanks. Not exactly. No.
Oh,
But I'm glad I'm here. I've heard of what's going on here.
yeah, we
Fortuitous.
took care of the time part. Everything else is kind of a mess that we're getting out of.
You took
Well-
care of it, so you've
Yeah.
got it now.
Uh-huh.
Time, quote unquote. I don't think it was really at the time at all. Kind of.
Somewhat.
It's complicated. Depends on how many novels you read.
But it's your exploits that receive a driven attention. At least we've heard of hearsay of your actions from others in this town.
Oh, yeah. That was a bad day. I wish I could apologize to all those people and the damage to that shop. I was very frustrated. I wasn't in the best headspace. But now it's news. Now my term has caught on. I like koi fish. They taste good. That's all it is.
That's your problem. The problem is going at this alone. You might need someone like like this loudmouth here. He points out Wade.
Yeah, I don't want attention.
Well, even if you don't want attention, you've got ours right now. Now that we've kind of proven ourselves by handling like 4 of these crises now, or I don't know, I kind of lost count.
At 4?
Do you think we deserve at least a little bit of an explanation of what you know? We've been harboring these powers for a while and we haven't exploded or anything. That's pretty good, right?
You can reciprocate our transparency.
I'm glad you've not been corrupted by them. That's the most important, I think. Stops a server that's walking by and asks for water. And as it's brought to him and he tells these things, he drinks it pretty quickly. He downs 3/4 of it in a minute.
Wow.
Transparency is great, but that doesn't mean that we can trust each other. Have you bumped into any koi hunters yet? Have you seen what they're doing?
We've heard the term? Crim nervously glances at the others with uncertainty.
Does that not mean what it is?
No, it
Koi
is.
hunter?
The rumors of these powers are out of control. So too is the, unfortunately, latent greed in the hearts of so many. They cannot help themselves. These powers, you don't need a bloodline or study or anything. You just have them.
Devil.
You can, indeed, you could keep them secret if you don't use them. So violence is rising as the word of them is spreading, and people that have obtained the term koi hunters are hunting them down.
It's
So-
take for themselves or to just remove from the system?
Probably a combination of both, if I would have to guess.
I'd wager
Alex
probably-
is gonna cast elementalism and just start idly playing around with the water left over in Devron's cup.
Okay.
I would imagine it's more of the former, though.
He smiles at that. Just watching it, kind of like a cat watches a mouse. And he smiles at you too, Crim. That is such a lovely perspective. But I admit I'm concerned. I don't see much that separates you all from these koi hunters. You are gathering these things. You've yet to reveal to me why you are doing so, and even if you did, how could I trust that?
Turner just kind
Well-
of instinctively looks over at Wade.
Yeah. Crim
Can't
glances
I,
at Wade. We have a truth thing.
can't
Ah,
we
sure.
turn around and ask you the same question?
You could. Perhaps where destiny doesn't exist. But it is best, perhaps, that we keep to ourselves then.
I'd still like. Sorry, Lon.
No, you first.
I'd like to get to know you, Devron. I wish to part from you in friendship, and if we are to become enemies in the future, I figure from being friends beforehand will make for better play. Won't it?
And for what it's worth, even if you, I guess, technically can't trust us, the reason we're gathering it is because, well, this one was more preemptive, but all the other ones was because it was causing a lot of trouble. We didn't really know how to get rid of it. We tried, so we just had to hang on to it. If we could find the rightful, proven owner of these powers, some time god we don't know about, I'd happily hand mine over. Not that I have one yet, but, that sort of deal. The main issue is we don't know why it happened. If we could study it, that'd be good. Maybe then we can figure out how to contain it properly instead of just having to hold on to it and just not use it too much. It's weird. This is all very weird. If you could share knowledge of that, that'd be nice. So maybe we can gain more of them from that.
He finishes the rest of his water, hoping you're not gonna make it dance in his throat, and then calls for more. And you could tell. Well, insight check, please. I suppose. From
Yay! I'm bad.
At most 2 people, as usual.
I'll do one since I'm pretty good at it. Hopefully, I do better than last time.
Since Crim was actively talking for that, I'll do the other, even though it's not the best. 11.
5. 9.
Wow.
Okay. I feel weird calling for checks so much, but you guys aren't players that ask to do checks very much, so it goes. Okay. All you can tell is, he kind of holds himself. He seems uncomfortable with the conversation. But why? What part of it? Unclear. He says, I'm not in the habit of sharing information or telling about myself. I'm not here to be friends. It's strange that I've bumped into you again. I still think we shouldn't do this. I'm not sure.
Why not?
Well,
I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I think it is getting to be increasingly inevitable.
I just don't get where the hesitance comes from.
I kind of do. It's well, unless we find a way to make it clear that we aren't lying or deceiving in some way, we can't really tell for sure, can we? Although, I guess the closest we have would be our actions. And, well, saved 3 places. First one was kind of happenstance, and after that we kind of just kept running into them, and this one here, we just found a pattern. We figured before things get even worse here, we just take that power out of the system and then leave, so then this place can go back to whatever they call normal. And, well, after that,
well, it's inevitable.
yeah, that's kind of it, really. We just want to sell silk.
It is inevitable we are going to keep on running into these phenomenons. The more that happens, well, we're eventually going to run out of hosts here who will have to soon start doubling up. One is tempting enough.
Gives a wavering smile to you, Cashmere, first at your comment, saying, well, you must be an open book to not understand the hesitance. Forgive me. Okay, you really do need something. Trust me, especially after the request I'm about to make, that I have to make. Fine. I happen to know... You know the power I sought from Garrick near Valandria. The power of... How to phrase it? More or less bodily stasis.
Yes?
And you say you've dealt with whatever was here, so you must know that you've probably talked with the rabbit Bugsy and received his power of alternate timeline allegiance.
Wait, who?
So you do know about that.
Wrong host. He must have transferred it to Samaka.
Oh.
How... Is he dead then?
Who?
I don't
Never heard of this.
I don't know who
Never heard
Bugsy
of
is.
this individual.
Can you describe him, please?
I He looks uncomfortable. Someone will have to make a persuasion check or intimidation check, depending on the tone of your words.
Yep. Please, Aron. Call me theatrical, but I fear if we don't talk to each other, there'll be some day in the far future where we're at each other's throats shouting about our ideals as we cast spells. If we can head that off today in this tavern, I hope we can.
And as a, not quite a help action, but just like adding to the argument, Crim will say, I mean, if he doesn't have the power anymore, what interest would we have, you know? This is more to trace how it got to Samaka's hands. That's weird.
Okay. Boogle, do you want to roll the?
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. D20 plus 12, bitch. Let's do it.
Holy
Nice.
crap.
28. Big
Okay.
numbers.
No,
This guy's really closed off. DC 40. Sorry. No. Okay.
Oh my god.
He's the final boss he has to be.
He was becoming unfriendly, but you have restored him to neutral. That's a point. Okay. I know the origins of these powers because I gave it to them. They came from me. Garrett couldn't remember for some reason, but I know the origin before me of these. I know their nature. And that's why I ask you again now to give me the gifts you have. If they're all united in the right vessel, the woes of the world will end. And the more gifts I accrue, the easier I can make that happen.
Right.
Are you a god?
No.
Did you speak to a god? What other thing could give this kind of power?
There were things before me.
Oh, okay.
How vague. Very vague.
Do you have a way to prove that you're stable with them? Why did you give them in the first place? Also, I think everyone doesn't remember for what it's worth. Although, now that I think about nah, Sonico's just tired. It's fine.
No, she remembered.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I think.
Who's Samaka?
Oh, that explains why she was nervous. Because it was probably taken from the other person. Samaka is,
She's a person
Crim
who is
looks at
caught up.
Cash.
She's a person who is caught up in all of the nonsense here. We remove the burden from her, as you are attempting
These
to do.
powers
Really?
are These powers are transferred if their host is killed, aren't they?
She must be in her 20s now. Anyway, I can't prove that I'm stable. No, I'm just Devron.
But I want to ask, what woe specifically are you referring to? There's always trouble in the world, but how would this combination resolve them?
Well, this latest trouble in the world in this otherwise lovely era is these things and what they're doing to people, and these koi hunters, and who knows where this story will end. They need to be... I need them. That sounds insane.
Well, why don't we look at this from a logical perspective? We relieve ourselves of these powers, transfer them to you, and then now you have the collection you already have plus what we bring to you. Wouldn't it be more dangerous to have that many on you alone when you don't have the rest of them accounted for?
Yeah, speaking of which, and I don't mean to say this in a threatening way, I think you understand when I ask this, how killable are you?
He does laugh, but not as much as I'm laughing. I'm pretty sure a knife through my heart will kill me.
Oh, well, that's pretty easily killable then.
I'm no one special, really. I think sir, he says to you, Turner. There's no one better to collect these. I know how they work, sort of. This is not... I'm not convincing you. I'm not convincing anyone. Not like this. I should go.
It's insightful.
Well, are you sure you don't want to just come with us for now? We're kind of traveling the world with Silk selling. We're inevitably going to run into more. We've run into them like twice now. We're the highest concentration of the powers, so if you ever want to keep an eye on us and advise us on keeping it the same, you could be with us. I don't see a downside from what you're trying to do, and I mean, I don't mean to sound too harsh, Devron, but how much have you actually accomplished without us so far, compared to what we've accomplished in the same time?
I don't deserve to be in the company of such kind, and I believe honest individuals. To your point, I have done some work. I solved what was happening in Sanswent, been to Tornor. Not that it's any matter.
Well, do you have time powers with you right now, then?
He gives you a look like... I'm not going to say it, but...
Yeah.
Well, hey, that means that you're probably stable. I mean, how many? More than one, right? If you solved at least two of them, that means... Huh. I mean, there might be some merit to that, right? He glances at the others.
We are essentially all but asking you to let us help you, and for you to help us. We want to know what to do with these, but well, it would be irresponsible to drop all of this onto someone who is as
Vulnerable.
as my friend here. That's a more delicate way of putting it than killable.
Yeah, what we all can agree on is they should be held in the hands of those who would only use them to save others, or not for their own benefit.
Well, and the problem there is we've seen what happens if it's used too much to save others. It corrupts anyway.
Yeah, as power often does. You say, Devron, a knife to your heart will kill you, but I ask you this. How do you put the knife into the heart of a man who cannot fail? And he looks to Turner.
Look,
you've got a good track record.
We're gonna keep finding these. And possibly gonna keep running into you. So we can either do this now, or we can do this later.
For what it's worth, if you are telling the truth, I think we'd all happily turn the powers over. We just need a way to see it. Otherwise, it'd be reckless of us, wouldn't it? Imagine if someone impersonated exactly what you're saying and they weren't meant for it. I think that would make you very upset.
As you keep saying these things, he's like putting his hand to his face, like he almost looks like he's guilty or embarrassed, as if you're praising him or something. And he says, I don't deserve this, and I shouldn't travel with you, no. I have plans already. I'm going southwest. Do not follow me. I hope we don't meet again.
Well,
be careful.
It's almost inevitable if you're going to try to pry these from us.
He looks thoughtful at your phrasing there. And he stands up and his hands are shaking.
Go ahead and leave. Maybe next time we can have a friendlier talk.
I do have one more question before you go, because it could be useful if we ever run into each other again down the line. Do you know where and how many the power of these powers are, out there? Because, for example, if you ever did some math and found that we have this many and you have this many, with every point where all of it's in one place, that'd be pretty useful, right? You don't have to tell us what the number is, just that if you do or not.
I don't have a full quantity. I don't know where they are. I don't even know where exactly I'm going.
Oh.
Maybe you shouldn't trust me.
Well,
you are doing quite well. Goodbye.
Alright, Devron, we're just friends. And I'm willing to bet you're older than the average otter. At least 100, that's my guess. Don't confirm it, but I have suspicions.
Oh,
He
wait.
frowns. He walks away.
When he's gone, then Turner will just kind of say, or he's trying to live up to that.
Crim glances at Alex. You, look a little thoughtful.
Still trying to decide exactly how involved with all of this I want to be.
Yeah, he
Well-
did say... Sorry, what?
On the bright side, that's the exact kind of attitude that he probably wants, you know, when we eventually turn this over, assuming we can trust him.
He did say Samaka must be 20 years old. If that's not the words of an immortal, I don't know what is.
Or it could just be someone who's middle-aged who knew her as a child, you know, like someone who's a friend of the father or something like that.
Not true.
Am
But
I gonna sound like that one day? Huh.
Do you think that Samaka might have?
Yeah, I think she might have.
Crim glances at Cash for that. How good of a fighter is Samaka?
Would Cashmere know? Tell?
No, it's like cousin of friends, family. Like, nah.
She could have.
Crim
You
will
can do a
think-
retroactive history check to get her Statblock info.
Well, I'm just gonna have Cashmere shrug and say, well, you saw how Falzone fights. Probably pretty similar. I have no idea.
It's
Well,
possible
if
that.
she fights like Falzone, then she definitely can kill someone.
Well, it's possible that she didn't have to make the killing blow. She could have just been in the position I was when I stumbled into my power.
Oh, that's true. But if that's the case... Actually... You know, when we talked about taking the power away from her, they seem to believe us pretty readily that it was through something that wouldn't hurt her.
Oh.
But if they killed the other person for it, you'd think they'd be more skeptical. Then again, it seems like everyone was in the dark about it, so maybe it was only her.
There's no telling who knows what, who knew what.
If we knew where the deed was done, I could ask Eric.
Oh. Unfortunately, I don't think we'd be able to find where a body like that would be buried.
Yeah, Samaka. But in any case, some of these powers,
Wade, how crazy have you been feeling lately?
I used it on that one individual back in the alley, gods. And we talked briefly. I didn't feel different afterwards.
Well,
Yes,
at this
You already used it once in recent memory, though.
that's at least his second or third time. I've used it
Hmm.
twice so far, and I've been holding off on since.
I guess I should consider myself lucky that mine's almost useless and makes it very clear exactly how it affects me.
I'm sure we'll find the time eventually. Well, if you want to.
You know... Don't freak out. I considered using it on Devron there to see if maybe it would... Never mind.
Well,
I don't know
your
if it
version was
lasts
weaker,
long
right?
enough.
Yeah, I think you explained to us that it only lasts a few seconds. That might not be enough.
I think Turner's is the opposite problem. His is too useful. It's too powerful.
I was just wondering... No, it would make him lifeless. It wouldn't... No...
I guess we're
It-
fortunate.
it's- He snaps his fingers towards Wade.
Yeah.
Are you willing?
I was considering it myself at the shop, but like in that warehouse, but I didn't want to risk it.
Wade, are you willing?
Willing for what?
Willing to try and use my power to cast
No.
Knowing as a target for his.
Oh, Yes.
What are you going to attempt?
Well, let's see.
He's going to
And
interrogate.
Cashmere claps his hands and points at Wade.
All right, Wade. You feel I don't know, maybe a little tingle, like as if a spell is affecting you, but different. Are you willing?
Yes.
Darn, I thought we'd have some spicy drama there. Okay. It succeeds. Is your CR? Yeah, you have the same CR, so it's not. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the description. Where is it?
None of us would be like twice the CR of anybody else here, so I think we're good.
Okay. Wait, do you have an intelligence of 6 or higher?
Oh, damn it. It fails.
Close, I'm 8.
Okay.
Really? That's your dumb stat?
Well, yeah, I'm fucking bard. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
That's
I
all
didn't,
talk.
I didn't
no
know.
Think.
Because you don't really roleplay him as
No.
being dumb.
I'll talk, no think.
You don't need to be smart to lead a lot of. Anyway. So. Some luminescence appears sitting at a nearby chair next to Cashmere that quickly wraps itself around into the form of Wade. And he looks at you with like a nod and a smile that the current Wade you've dealt with probably wouldn't have such a friendliness to it as if you had been lifelong friends or something like that. And then turns as if he's looking for a waiter to order something.
Oh, hello, I'm quite beside myself. Greetings.
You already used that one.
I know, but I did, yeah, I didn't find the other one, sorry.
Cashmere, while you have time.
Okay, sorry. It's slipping my mind for some reason. What was Wade talking about before? Cashmere asked him this.
What? Why would you do this if you forgot why you were doing it?
No, I was gonna do something.
He was talking about using his power to try and find the soul of Falzone, the fake Falzone, to see if he was alive or not. So he was considering it.
Oh, okay, now I know. Okay. Cashmere asks the copy of Wade. So, feel any more insane than usual?
Me? Of course not. I've told you that I haven't used my power more than once in that alleyway. At least I think so.
And you're telling the truth?
I wouldn't lie to you. Been friends for how long is it? And then disappears into golden light.
Wait, kid, go. Oh, damn it.
One round.
I wanted to ask him one more thing. Damn it.
You'll get your chance later.
Okay, Cash, what was that for?
Wade, was that how you would have answered that?
Well, I think I used the power once in the alley, and then also to see my brother when I first got it, but I mean, splitting hairs.
Well, he only specified in the alley.
You haven't quite been a lifelong friend to me, but that's then. I think similar.
Cash, can you explain?
I'm just trying to see how effective this power is. Because if I used it on Devron, I mean, he would have told me what he was willing to tell me, right? He wouldn't have...
I mean, he'd also have to be willing to be subject to that power, and I don't know.
That doesn't necessarily mean it would fail. It would just mean he would put up a fight.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, would he tell me the truth? The truth that he knows?
It would be the truth of a Devron that knew you all your life. Who knows what would happen in that timeline?
Right.
You know, if you wanted to get really crazy, you could have tried to find a version of Wade that already found that person and ask him what he found out for the dead body person who might have died.
Right. I could have done a lot of things.
Well,
I bet I can do this all day if I wanted to.
You probably shouldn't, though.
Do not do that, Cashmere.
If you ever do it again on me, ask me if the fire happened.
Two things real quick. One, Snap, you get resolve for this gambit.
Thank
and
you.
two, yep, you feel that power in you. You could call upon it again. And when you used it, you felt like, gosh, it sure is nice to be surrounded by friends like this. It's like I could create a neighborhood if I wanted to. And it's not like it's beckoning you psychologically to use it again, but, felt good.
I swear to the gods, swear to Ogma, Cashmere, we'll extract a secret from you if we have to.
Look. I'll use it sparingly. But this is really useful.
A lot of things are really useful, but they have side effects. You got me paranoid about my own dragon body now.
At the risk of my own soul, for information, I'm curious. And Wade, he casts his gaze over to the seat where he just saw himself. And he just looks inward a bit. If you can, show me myself that just died, just disappeared.
I think it's covered in the rules that they're kind of just hollow mirrors. There's not any soul to call back.
Alright, right. Oh yeah, because his work's different than the Samaka. It might. Oh yeah, I got the description for his, but not Samaka's. Never mind.
It's starting to get confusing as we're getting all these.
Yeah.
Alright, in that case, they'll pull back.
Yeah, I know. Man, before all this, I wasn't even interested in this, and now...
I think, as an alternative to what Devron proposes, instead of it all being put into one man who made them in the first place, I feel like there should be some sort of league of individuals, like us, that has these powers, that can check each other and decide not to use them.
So keep on going as we are?
Yeah, it's kind of just been us for now. We haven't found a lot of people who we could, trust strongly with that. Even the one time we kind of left it off, we were nervous about that one too.
But if we can convince Devon to do that, these powers... Well, there will be no more koi hunters because these powers will be within us and just left to wither on the vine until there's a crisis.
Well, no, there will still be koi hunters. They'll just have more concentrated targets.
Yeah, I think the only way to really, in a way, the solution for these powers is the same solution we just gave this town. Remove it from the system. We just don't know how to do that yet for an entire world. Devron seems to have an idea, but it won't really work until...
Well, since we are putting ourselves out there now, and it seems some of us are readily taking on this responsibility, Alex, you mentioned not being certain how much of this you want to be involved in. The more we do this, the more we are going to become known. Do you want out of this?
And if it's okay, unless you really want to address this, I want something else to happen. Okay. Austin comes out from downstairs, joins y'all at your table, unless you shoo him away. And he's got a serious air about him. He just says, "Good morning. Morning. Hope I'm not interrupting. Please go ahead if I am. Sorry about that."
Is something wrong?
Is it important?
Oh, yes. Sorry I slept in. I was hoping to get some food in me first. How to start? Where are your heads at? I think I understand what happened here, vaguely. Some rabbits here told me some things because I helped out in that fight. But I want to know. We've been doing silk and all this, but what is motivating you all? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? There's extraordinary things happening, and I'm trying to understand.
As in, individually, personally?
I mean, the world's shaken up. It's not like last year. Something's brewing. And you've kept the goods and, frankly, myself safe. I don't know where to go from here. What do you think? Where are you going?
Well, initially I was just going where the road took us and taking on these obstacles as we approach them. Seemed like a good way to make use of the talents that I had acquired, and the coin has been nice.
Is that where you all stand? Coin's been nice, following the road? Because it seems so far that you've chosen a different road. Or maybe it's chosen you.
I wanted to get away from... Well, I had to get away from all of this. And now I'm back. Solved a problem. And it felt like I accomplished something. I don't know what I want. At least from here, I don't know where I'm even going. I'm just following you guys.
But you wanted to help. And you did. You made a big difference. You weren't here selling silk. I don't even understand what you did. But you did it.
And don't sell yourself short, Cashmere. We followed you here.
Yeah, well, I was being selfish, I guess.
No way, I've kind of also been doing a little bit of this out of selfishness. I just wanted to see the world more. Never really got to for most of my life up until this point. So, it was kind of a happy accident to be able to do all this stuff, but it does seem like it's getting a bit bigger. I personally don't want to back down from that. You guys kind of overheard me in that dream. I kind of wanted to defer to you guys first, so I guess I have some proof on that one, but, well, I don't know. I understand Alex's hesitance on this, but, well, where's this coming from?
After what's happened last few days... How do I say this? I'm not good with words. I'm a company man. My loyalty and my ambitions are to swamp silk exports. I came here to sell as much stock here as possible, and that's what I'm gonna do, even if it takes a long time. Hopefully the city calms down a little bit. And then I'll probably sell the pack lizards and the wagons. Maybe head to Ilio or Sanswent, but I think I want to get back to Gerdumble ASAP. I don't know how that's gonna go. The world's just... But you all are different. You're special. Whatever happened in Gerdumble, you weren't affected at all. You remember that? You're real good at fighting and other things too.
When you mention it that way, it is kind of odd that we weren't affected as much. There were echoes of it with the others, right? But yeah, we just didn't.
I recall you were one of the quickest to catch on, Austin.
Well, you were also harassing him over and over.
How many fingers?
Good times.
Repeated times.
Are you saying, Huston, that this may be a bit much for you then?
Yeah, I am. You're meant for more than being silk caravan guards, even though you're dang good at it.
Well,
I'm not.
Well, I'll admit I'm a little disappointed. I thought perhaps the observatory could have used some new uniforms.
Well, I still respect it. I mean, putting some things into perspective, I can see how, well, normal people would want to get out of this sort of crazy thing. Especially since we're kind of attracting more of it, one way or the other. Although, at least let us send letters.
I might sending you.
I don't know. My heart's not set on anything. I'm honestly coming to you all for advice. There's nowhere safer, in a manner of speaking, than with you all. If you think we could get some good deals, make some good coin, those uniforms, I'll accompany you all. I think. I just know that it's different, and I feel lost.
Lost, huh?
Not the only one.
I
Spent my whole life wishing I could finally choose my own path, and now I'm allowed to, and I'm just being shoved right back down the same road I was being forced down to begin with.
Well, take it from me, Alex. You don't have to follow whatever those are telling you. You have to. It's your decision if you want to keep putting yourself at risk for all this.
Yeah.
I think
I'm into it no matter where I go, aren't I? It's everywhere.
Think of it this way. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing when I first started this. Now I came back home and fixed a problem here. I didn't know that was going to happen. Huston, you probably haven't even figured it out yet. Or you, Alex. I don't think you have either. Just, maybe you'll figure it out. Somehow.
Why we're here?
Or, I don't know.
I know what I want out of life. I'm Swamp Silk Exports, guys. You know, I'm family and community. But what do you all want? I mean, if you, Alex, are looking to bring joy and heal things that were broken. I mean, I saw what you did. They're talking all about it before we left those jungles, that field thing. Who knows how you were involved here? If that's your goal, hey, keep it on. But if you are someone a bit more tied to home or something, like me, maybe this isn't for you.
You know, Alex, I was actually thinking a little bit about your predicament, and in some ways it must be frustrating because I feel like in some ways you do want to help, but then you have that thing hanging over your head basically saying, I told you so. Kind of takes away from it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But if that's the case, just say I told you so back. Wasn't some prophecy, it's just how you felt. Besides, the prophecy was only talking about you, not us. And we're here.
Well, only him directly.
That's how they always go. They try to be tricky. Besides, don't prophecies have like a 10% accuracy? Maybe it just happened to be right and you made it right.
Kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I suppose what we have in common is we're both running away from something.
I think all of us here are running away from something.
Yeah, you all know what I'm running away from.
Yeah. Running towards something. I don't know what you're talking about.
My actions, my past. I'll admit, at the end of this all, I intend on going back to Misos and paying for them, but until then, I can still do some good in the world.
Here, he's been. It looks like he's brought some. What do you call those satchels of like coin purses with him to the table? And last minute, he's been counting some things out. He's like, 20%, 10,000. Okay. All right. Well, we haven't made the 50,000 yet. We're getting close to it. We made 30,000 in Mamelon, other big cities. Maybe we shouldn't decide on something just yet. but just in case you decide that we're not going to travel together anymore, he slides over some smaller coin purses, and you each gain 2,000 gold pieces.
God
my.
damn.
Wowza.
Nice.
That's the portion from what I've done here and what I anticipate doing, if anything more happens. But I am going to stay here for a while, and I know I'm going to make lots of sales. People have been shut up and scared, but now they're going to buy.
Well, okay. If you're gonna stay here for a while, we might be going ahead, but I was talking with the others. He glances for confirmation about if our path is still the same.
Turn nods.
And, how about we give you a list of where we plan to go, because they kind of happen to be, where we plan to make good sales anyway. Then if you happen to catch up to us, we can touch base. And hopefully if we're ahead of you, we'll clear the path.
Okay. That sounds tentatively good. I'll get some food in me and think more, and before you leave town, we can maybe pick something more final, work up the logistics. I love logistics. So does he. Points at Wade.
Yeah, mostly people, logistics, people. It'd be a damn shame if you go with that Strands of Time name. I think was going to catch on.
Yeah, maybe I can spread your word if that's what you want.
We'll workshop.
Actually, we kind of want to be unknown for a little while. There's apparently people hunting down people with the powers that we have.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
They're very unprecedented names.
So, yeah, you might want to add that to your considerations.
Okay. Sheesh, yeah, be careful.
We'll be fine.
Likewise, friend.
Been through a lot already. We'll be alright.
Alright, well, I heard the pastries here are pretty good. Didn't have one yesterday, so, yes, I'll have, he starts ordering.
Yeah, I think we can afford a double serving now.
Yeah, these prices are like 2 silver, 4 silver.
Yeah, like imagine like the real equivalent of this. Like we're all here, we all have like $1 million just sitting in our pockets, and we're still like sleeping in tents at the side of the goddamn road.
Yeah, mind you, seasonal work. We gotta make that million last the whole year.
Crim gives Alex a glance in particular to see how he's doing, because he knows that in particular he's also at a bit of a mental crossroads on how to treat this prophecy with this current happenings.
I'd at least like to figure out what's going on with these dreams of yours, Crim.
I do value your skepticism on this. You've been right an awful lot of times for these, and I'm pretty sure if I ever see that dragon again, I might get too starstruck to think of anything other than, that he saved my life and all that, so I could use that skepticism in case I make a bad decision and don't realize it. I know I'm a bit sheltered. Didn't really spend a lot of time outside of my room until I got my wings. Well, scaly wings. So, yeah, I've still got a lot to learn and only so much time so far.
Right. Not for you. The world will still need saving, and we'll be back in Mamelon under some innkeeper's order to kill 20 rats.
Besides, Trebletown's great. Once we get there, at least. Might get some info about the ritual there, and then Karifi, which is like the big place for info.
Oh yeah. Anything else from Alex?
So that's our next stop then?
I think first it's Cash's uncle, but that's along the way.
Oh, right.
Yeah, shouldn't take too long.
You have a big family, Cashmere.
Not really. I mean, I have a mom, I have a dad, I have an uncle. It's a normal family.
In
Wayne.
D&D terms, you have a big family.
You aren't an orphan.
Wow.
You have 3 named backstory characters who are family members.
I think I have a brother.
I did.
Okay.
Actually, Cashmere looks at Alex and asks him, Alex, do you have any siblings?
Too many.
Oh, right. Salamander. Right.
Says the bunny.
Hey. Stereotype.
And with that, as some food is finally brought out and tavern's getting a bit more lively for a morning, Neighbor you all level up.
Yay.
Fourth
Yay!
level spells! Fourth level spells, yo!
Woohoo!
And a bit of
Light.
that.
But we still need a long rest.
No, you got it. Come on.
We've had plenty of levels at Bugle where we don't have to like actually rest before it.
Yeah.
We just don't like get all our resources back, just the new ones.
Just seeing Huston in serious mode was like, oh gosh, I gotta get stronger. So you leveled up.
Oh boy.
Hey, how's the fun sesh?
We made it. We got the powers, and we didn't even have to kill anyone, except for that time last session. And the session
I wanted
before.
to kill him.
Oh yeah, he was probably the closest we ever got to killing someone.
I almost
But,
killed. I almost got a casualty, but fucking foul zone.
I told someone.
I know you did, but I'm saying like Turner never like officially got a kill yet, and fucking foul zone had to show up and be like, oh.
You killed a spider at the start.
I'm talking about people.
Well,
Oh, okay. Spiders aren't people. I see what it is.
Time.
Well, there are spider people in this world, but those were not one of them.
This ain't Hunger Games. One of my friends' huge criticism of the Hunger Games is that Katniss is never actually forced to make a difficult decision. She's in the freaking Hunger Games, where like you have to kill each other. There's only one survivor, but like at no point is she forced to like do moral dilemmas. Things just fall into place for her. But not in this campaign.
We'll have to make decisions. And
Nothing
you guys get to decide if you want to watch next week, or join our Discord, or do whatever you want to do. Bye bye.
Bye-bye!
Okay,
bye.